And good morning. Welcome to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. Randy and the team at Professional Floor Covering are there to help you design the perfect space. Of course, you know they've got you covered when it comes to flooring. Floors are in their name. They've also got you covered when it comes to countertops, when it comes to cabinets, and when you're ready for an update in that bathroom with a new shower or tub. They've got you covered there. Let their team help you design a shower that you can just unwind and relax in, from color and material choice to size and arrangement. There's a lot of design choices that need to be made before beginning the remodeling process. Maybe you want to get a nice new retiled shower. It can give it a beautiful new look. Glass enclosures are a good way too. That's a good option to look at with glass doors and panels. It can give a little bit more spacious and luxurious feel to your bathroom. Or if it's just getting tougher and tougher to get in and out of that tub, you just want to do away with the classic tub and you want to do a tub to shower conversion, they can help you there as well. I know they can do either a zero transition shower, so there's just no lip whatsoever, just completely smooth from floor into shower, or they can give you a 1-inch or 2-inch lip there if you want. They can help you out with a lot of different options. Visit them today at 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, or visit them online at proflr.com. Keel Zomer down in the Daily Dodge TV studio this morning, filling in for Wally. Wally is on assignment. In case you don't know, which you probably do, Wally helps us out with all kinds of our high school sports coverage, and that is what Wally is doing today, because Beaver Dam baseball playing in sectionals over in Slinger here early afternoon. So Wally's getting all geared up to go over there and cover that. You can catch that game over on Daily Dodge TV. First pitch set for 1 p.m. this afternoon on Daily Dodge TV. So looking forward to that. And we've got, that means we've got Ninja up in the WBEV Slumberland studios hanging out with us today. We appreciate him taking a little time out of his busy day and helping us out. Happy to welcome in our guest for this morning here. We've got Craig Caston, board president with the Dodge County Center for the Arts. Good morning, Craig. Nice to have you here.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months.
Yep.
Since you've gotten to join us here, we've been hanging out with Mary the last couple of months, which has been awesome. And feel better, Mary. I know she's going to hang out with us today too, but feeling a little under the weather. So we hope she feels better. We'll get to see her next time around. But always lots of things happening over at Dodge County Center for the Arts. And I know right now, kind of, it's pretty front of mind for you and I. Of course, the Dodge County Center for the Arts. Well, before we get into this, for those who aren't familiar, just share a little bit about the Dodge County Center for the Arts, what you guys are all about, a little bit of the background on it.
Sure. We used to, it was founded in the 60s. I actually read a nice history piece about it. We were founded in the 60s, and we traveled the Arts Center. I obviously wasn't there, but well, maybe. And, no, I wasn't. And they traveled around, and finally, Peter J. Seipel, the late Peter Seipel, started a foundation at the Seipel Center, and we moved there and had lots of arts there. And after a while, we decided that we just weren't ready to go, and we decided let's move to let's leave the Seipel Center. We left. We went to then the Rasky building, and then at that point we said, well, we're not going to really move on with this. There's just less interest. There's not enough board members. There's not enough volunteers. So what we did was we turned around and said, well, let's call it. It's 60 years is a good run, and all of a sudden the next day I was working at the chamber, and I got a call from Dennis Giese, who said, I bought a building on Friday. I don't want it. Do you want it? I heard you want it for the Arts Center. I'm like what? is this Moser pranking me? And he said, no, seriously, I got a building, and I took a tour of it the next day, and I walked in, and I was like, that's it. This is it. This is our next home, and I can tell. And all the Ruth Metz would always say, do you really want to run a business? The answer is no, but it's a business. No matter how you slice it, it's a business. So we've been there. We just celebrated our 6th anniversary there. We've made it through COVID. We've had some fantastic arts. We've had some fantastic exhibits. We've really reached out, and part of my goal as president, or always been on the board, because I've been on the board for 18 years, is to be involved in the community. So every time there's a community event, I try, if we can, to get involved in it. So almost all the chamber events we were part of, almost all of the other downtown groups, because technically we're downtown, but we're not really downtown. We're all, we're a block off like the theater is. And so we really want people to come and say, we want to be part of the Beaver Dam and Dodge County experience. We want people to come in and say, we're coming to Beaver Dam, so we're going to see the great things like the theater and all the stuff downtown, all the wonderful places downtown, the parks, the peonies, all that stuff. But we should stop at the Art Center and do that. So that's how we got there. And so, like I said, we just celebrated 6 years in April.
That's fantastic. And of course, Dodge County Center for the Arts, one of our great partners on the Good Comer Brands, John Moser Children's Radiothon, one of 15 wonderful nonprofits. And when these nonprofit groups work with the Radiothon, it's really a mutually beneficial thing. And not only do these agencies benefit from the funds, but they also contribute towards the Radiothon as well. And you guys are doing that in a couple of ways. First and foremost, talk about what you're doing here in the month of June for the Radiothon.
For the month of June, we're doing a portion of our sales will be donated to the Radiothon. We won't know because June's not over yet, but but it gets close because we'll want to do it, get you the money probably as the Radiothon's wrapping up. So we'll kind of estimate the last couple of days, but we do that, and then also we do the part of the pie sale from the Beaver Dam Pepper Festival. We always do that, and that's weird because it's always in the fall and the Radiothon's in the summer. So
sure,
we always have to work those numbers out too. But we always donate to that. So we want to make sure, and pretty much everything we do that involves children, we make sure that the Radiothon is part of that because we want that to be like our monthly coloring contests are always sponsored by the Radiothon, and that we want people to see that logo. And it's all on our brochures and our flyers that specifically like our newsletter every month is got the logo on there because we want people to know that it's an integral part of what we do is what you do for us, and then obviously what we do for you so that you can help the other nonprofits. And so there's some fantastic nonprofits in Beaver Dam. I didn't realize it until I took the Leadership Beaver Dam class many years ago, the class of 2009, 2010, the best class ever, by the way. And the best class ever. I've lived here for 40 years, and I never realized the number of nonprofits and how much they contribute to the community, how much in their own way they find a niche and they make it happen.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible, the nonprofit organizations we have here, and not only just within Beaver Dam, but in Dodge County. I mean, I've been in this area my entire life, and it wasn't till I was working here and I was getting involved in this kind of stuff that I went, wowzers, there's a lot of different nonprofit groups out there providing a lot of different services, which is pretty, to be honest, it's kind of it's an abnormally high amount for a community of our size, really.
Yeah, it feels good, but it feels good that there's people that actually care, that people that want to volunteer their time or volunteer their efforts to make Beaver Dam a better place. Because when I moved here, I'm from Horicon, so it's not like I moved a long way, but when I moved here, 40 years, in 81, I think it was, I didn't feel like I fit in. But as I got more and more, I started to see all these people and all the inner workings of all the people doing it and all the people, how they all came together. And then as I became part of the chamber and stuff like that, it was pretty much seeing all this happening. Just these wonderful people that just never give up.
Exactly. So the Radiothon, our 27-hour on-air auction, is coming up Thursday, June 26th. We kick off at 6 a.m. We go till 9 a.m. the next day, Friday, June 27th. And all of our nonprofits also provide us with some auction items. And you brought some in today. Tell us a little bit about what we got here.
Sure. Well, it's just a little art basket with some art projects. Some paints, some colors, some canvases, things that you would have, and a couple of surprise things we have is one of our artists from the past has donated. We've donated their cards. They're basically greeting cards. That there's 10 greeting cards of 3 different kinds, and one of the other things we did was we have a secret mystery art, and the secret mystery art is, you have to find out. You have to bid on it to find out what it is. Now I do know who the artist from. I sneaked a peek at it, but and it is a local artist. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. When you see her, she's amazing, and she's an amazing artist. She's been around forever, and she's. So you get a piece of art. This was from a project that we did years ago called the Community Art Project, where we gave everyone free squares, these 1x1 squares, and they painted them, and then we put them up, and then we auctioned them off for like $25 a piece. So we sold almost all of them. There's just a few left over, and so I thought, well, why are they sitting in the basement? Let's get this art, especially, and since I know the artist, I know it's going to be an awesome piece of art. I haven't looked at the art. I just looked at the artist. I know it's going to be awesome. You should come in and do that. Somebody should have this in their house because it's beautiful.
And then the other thing we've got here, and if you want to move that, and then I got that for you.
Sure.
We've got this beautiful artwork that's also going to be on the auction block. Talk a little bit about that piece.
This is a piece from an artist named Jim Hansel, who's from Minnesota. Honestly, it's probably before my time. I've never met him, and I don't even know if he's ever been to Beaver Dam. It might have been something that someone gave to us or we bought as we were going to sell off. To be honest with you, I have no idea where it came from. I just saw it and I thought, this is beautiful, and we should do something with this, and we want to, because we want to get our goal is to get, obviously, bring art to the community, but also get art in the hands of people, because if if you appreciate art, you want these kind of things. So this is a signed and numbered piece called Reflection, and I looked it up because I thought, well, is it worth anything? If I were going to give you a $5 piece of art, where you say, well, that's really not worth it. But I looked it up, and he sells these currently on his website for $80 unframed, $80 plus shipping and stuff like that. So
sure.
So you're talking about, this is framed, this is matted, this is this is everything. This is a beautiful piece of art. It's worth a fortune, and he's got a degenerative eye disease. So what he does is he takes pictures, and then he actually has to paint within a couple of inches of it to do that. So if you go to his website, it's a fantastic story about how he has. It's called what is it called? I had it here. I don't remember. Stargarts. He had that at age 6, but he still paints. He's still painting today. He's still an active painter, and he lives in Minnesota. So we had it, and I thought, this is a great way to get, especially since this is such a beautiful piece of art. The bird and the eagle and the thing would be perfect hanging in someone's rec room, or especially if they're a hunter or a fisher, this would be a fantastic piece to put in.
Yeah, it's an absolute beautiful piece. And if you're listening on 95.3 WBEV, going, I wish I knew what it looked like, you can go back and watch back anytime here on the Daily Dodge YouTube page, and you can check it out. So we'll set that down there. Thank you, Mr. Caston. Again, we're talking with Craig Caston, board president with the Dodge County Center for the Arts, and there is still plenty more to talk about. Lots of things coming up here at the Center for the Arts. We'll talk about those when we come back here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. We are joined by Craig Kasten, board president with the Dodge County Center for the Arts, talking about all kinds of fun stuff going on at the Center for the Arts. And of course, you've got a really busy week this week, Craig. Let's first talk about coming up tomorrow. Folks can stop out and see you out at the Senior Expo.
Yep, for the first time ever, we've decided to actually join us in the Senior Expo. I help Tom and the group with their website and stuff like that, but it just never worked out. And so with Mary on board, it was easy to say, yeah, let's do that. So we're going to be there. We'll be there from 9 to 1 and stop by. We'll have some candy. We'll have a drawing for a gift card. Maybe even a basket to win, something like that. And come and see what we do. Come and see what the Art Center can do for the community, what it can do for you, because that's really the more important part is how can art benefit you. So come and see and talk to us and find out all the fascinating things we're doing. I mean, it's just amazing what the things that have changed over the years since, especially since moving into the new building, how things have really changed, and each successive year becomes better and better and better. In fact, we were talking the other day, a strategy plan about maybe making some more changes in the future, but talk about those because we haven't made a decision yet. We've talked about plans that we want to make going forward, because we're always evolving. We're always trying to find a way to reach people, to say art is more than just a picture on a wall. Art is music, art is life, art is everything, and you need to come in and see what our artists can do and how maybe you can be part of it, either a volunteer or maybe just come and hang out, like on our workshop Wednesdays, and which used to be called Watercolor Wednesday because it was only watercolors, and it branched off, and now we have a regular crew that comes in, and then people visit all the time, and they sit down and they're probably the most welcoming, inviting group you've ever seen. They're just like, yeah, sit down. Let's give you some advice. And they don't look at your art and say, well, you're not as good as I am. They're like, you can make this better, or this is great. Here's some new techniques you maybe not know. And they teach them. They're willing to share their whole entire plethora of things that they do, their art styles and concepts to the people who ask. It's amazing.
Very good. So again, folks can stop out and see it tomorrow from 9 to 1 at the Senior Expo. It's going to be at the Beaver Dam Ice Family Center out there, and we'll be out there as well with our WBEV brat fry from 11 to 1, so you can stop out and grab a brat and a soda for $2 for lunch while you go around and check out all the great vendors out there. So that'll be a good time. And then big weekend coming up here in Beaver Dam, Craig, with the Arts and Peony Fest, and of course Dodge County Center for the Arts, very involved in that. It is the Arts and Peony Fest. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's going to be going on with that, because there's quite a bit.
There is. It's pretty amazing. We have we're part of the chamber again. Our philosophy of being part of the community. The chamber has a brunch and blossom stroll. That didn't come out very well. Brunch and blossom stroll, Friday and Saturday from 10 to 3. So we'll have some refreshments and things like that, and things. Mary's plant has a whole plan. She's going to make mini muffins or something, I think. So if you stop down, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And we'll be stamping there. We have our peony contest show is going on. We had our peony art contest. We debated putting it into different categories, like painting and photography, things like that. But we thought, well, what if we don't get enough entries? We had over 40 entries.
Wow!
And some of those entries for people that were as far away as like Kenosha and things like that.
Really?
So they just were excited to be part of this. So we picked the winners last weekend, and the winners. Or 2 weekends ago, and the winners got prizes. We had cash prizes for the winners, and their art is all there. But we're having a new thing, an added thing called the People's Choice Award. So now through the end of the show, which will be July 23rd, I believe, is you can come down and for free you can just write on a piece of paper the little slip there what number you think is the best one. And Mary asked me, well, which one did you pick? And I said, I walked in and I was like, which one? I mean, they're so diverse, but they're all so good. They're not like you could go, well, that, you could tell that was done by a 5-year-old, or that was done by, or that person's that's their first year. This is much better. It's like, they're all wonderful. Even the ones where you could see that this is like their first foray at it. They were beautiful. They were like, I had a heck of a time trying to figure out which one I wanted to pick, because I could not. It was just and I can't imagine how the judges did it because,
Yeah.
oh my God, they were beautiful. So it was beautiful. So come on down and see that. We have we call it room number one. In room number one, you can see all that art, and we have all that going on. So that's there. Obviously we have other artists on display year round. We do that. The only time we'll be taking any of the artist stuff down is in September when we do the John Noltner event, because
okay.
that
Sure.
basically takes the entire building. So we'll clean it out, which will give us a chance then to clean the carpets and do some other things as long as it's empty. We'll do that. We have the Quilt Challenge exhibit. The theme was 50 years, or 1973, as I like to put it, because they're all 1973 based. Because it takes a couple of years for the Quilt Challenge to get from wherever it goes around the country and ends up by us, and usually we're one of the last, either the last or one of the last stops before it goes back to the owners. So thanks to everybody at Nancy Siemens, So Quilt Create, and Deanna Springer especially. She gets us that up for us, so we have like 25 quilts hanging with the theme of 1973, and it being from, having been a kid in 1973, it's amazing to watch. There's a Pink Floyd one. There's a mini, the little Twinkie bus one. Remember the Twinkie buses? You probably don't. You're not old enough.
Nope.
Yep, nope. You're not old enough. A Twinkie bus. Just the bell bottoms, the whole thing. There's even a little one. There's even a little one that has just all psychedelic colors, and it's like, and that. So as my unfortunately, it's not the 80s. My granddaughter Maisel always says, "It's the 80s, man." She's 6, and for some reason she's hooked on the 80s. I'm not quite sure.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah, we have all that stuff, and then one of the other things that Deanna's helped us do used to be the quilt store that was downtown, and after they left, Deanna took it over. We have a bed turning. And people who don't know what a bed turning is, they basically put a fake bed in the middle, and usually it's just a couple totes and a piece of plywood, and it's a bed, and bed's a bed, right? And they cover it with quilts, and then at 11 and 1, we have 2 separate shows. The people come in and they read off the quilt, if it has a name, how it was made, if there's any provenance behind it, why did they make it, why is it this way, what does this symbolize? This is a technique that was only used once, that you can't, you could only use diamonds or whatever. I'm not a quilter, so
sure.
I'm just guessing, but I remember some of the conversations about there being some rare, unique styles that you only did once because it was so hard, or only was a period, because quilting like everything else, must go through phases, and there was something that was during this period. This is how the quilts were made, and stuff like that, and it's fascinating to watch. I mean, not being a sewer or a quilter, it's not the same, but it is just amazing. It kind of gives you goosebumps when you hear the stories about how these people made these quilts, and last year we had quite a few from Tracy Prop's mother-in-law, I believe, and they were fantastic. They were beautiful, and it was great to see.
Talking with Craig Caston, board president with the Dodge County Center for the Arts. We got to step aside for a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Arts and Peony Fest, some of the cool things that are going to be happening over at the Center for the Arts, as well as some of their other offerings coming up. That's after the break here on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
welcoming you back to Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, presented by Professional Floor Covering. Hometown Today also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, who invite you in to stop in and discover their power lift chair recliners. They've got the largest selection in Dodge County, ready and available for delivery. With the touch of a button, these chairs can lift you to a standing position or recline you down to a comfortable nap. You can get lift chairs with heat and massage, adjustable headrest, and lumbar support. And yes, some models even have cup holders and wireless phone chargers. There's a variety of sizes that they've got in stock, from small all the way up to the big mans, with prices starting at just $799. And with these lift chairs, you don't have to worry about the power going out because they come with a battery backup. And our favorite part, delivery is free. So if one of your loved ones needs a lift chair in their room in an assisted living facility, McKinstry's will get it delivered for you. They're also a lift chair service center, so if anything ever breaks down, goes wonky, they're there to help you out with that. McKinstry's Home Furnishings, downtown Beaver Dam. Use the entrance in the tower parking lot, which is handicap accessible. Of course, stop down and say hi to McKinstry's this weekend while you're down at Arts and Peony Fest or Taste of Wisconsin. And don't forget, they are closed this Thursday. They're going to be closed this Thursday because they got to get ready for their big Friday the 13th sale coming up this Friday. So, you know, what is usually unlucky Friday the 13th is actually kind of your lucky day. If you're in the market for some new furnishings, stop down at McKinstry's Home Furnishings this Friday and check that out. We are back with Craig Caston, board president for the Dodge County Center for the Arts, who, of course, is looking forward to this weekend for Arts and Peony Fest. Lots going on. We talked a little bit about the Peony Contest Show, the Brunch and Blossoms event, the Quilt Challenge exhibit, the bed turning, which sounds fascinating. Great opportunity to learn about that. A couple other things going on as well with this weekend. One of them I'm really looking forward to checking out is this mural painting. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep. Our local artist Stephen Bennett has which, by the way, if you're listening, Steve, we really need to talk before the weekend. They're gonna do the. They've done the murals before. They've done like the McKinstry one and the Fred McMurray and Nancy Zeman ones, and they always did them by the back by the theater there. This year they want to do them at the Art Center under our overhang. That'll, in case there's any inclement weather. So we'll have as part of everything else that we'll be doing there, we'll have that as well. So we'll be doing that. So we'll have more details once we talk to Stephen. We'll get the details, right. but just check our website, check our DodgeCountyArts.org, or our Facebook page or our Twitter, and see. And I try to keep that as updated as I can so we can keep people informed of what's happening. And if you're not on our email list, come down and sign our guest book, and we'll put you on an email list. And we only send out a couple emails a month just to remind people of what's happening. We send out I've created a newsletter every month for the last 4 or 5 years, or almost every month. We say almost because it just depends on how busy we are. And do that, and then that usually goes out by email. And there's also copies available at the Dodge County Center for the Arts. So you're more than welcome. It always spills out a little the things we're doing, our partners. All our upcoming events are all spilled out there. So we have that, and then the other thing we have in our basement is we've had a lot of volunteers working to try to we call it the lower level. We're not supposed to say the word basement, but in the basement is of the bank. It was a big room, and it's been just kind of a junk room. And a couple of volunteers spent their hours and hours and hours organizing it. So now they're going to turn it into, during the Arts and Peony Festival, you'll be able to come in and do. There's a big sale of art. That we have, and come down and check that out. We actually have Fabergé eggs. We have paintings. We have drawings. We have pretty much everything. And if nothing else, come in. Especially if it's warm out, the lower level is always cooler. It's a great place to go. And we'll have that because we'll have the art market out in front, which we don't have anything to do with. That's totally the Chamber's thing, but that'll be in front of the Art Center all day on Saturday as well. So we'll have all that. So if you need a break, you come in, check it out, buy some art, take it home with you, because our artists love it when you buy their art.
All right. Again, talking with Craig Caston, board president for the Dodge County Center for the Arts. Let's talk about some of the other things you got coming up here at the Center for the Arts.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'll ask you. You might ask, well, how do we do all this stuff?
Yeah, that is. How do we do all this stuff, Craig?
It's really all our volunteers. I mean, I cannot express the gratitude that I have for the amount of volunteers that we have. You know, even my wife Carrie, who put the basket together for us today, or last night, was a volunteer. She puts up with my having to go to the art center every day, every day, no matter, even if we're not open, I'm there. And just our volunteers, we have a great group. We did some landscaping outside. Coming up for the Arts and Peony Festival, Steve Strassman and Barb and Gary Davidson from Columbus, and a bunch of other volunteers, Becky and Spencer and all those guys. If you start naming people, then you just forget somebody, right? Because we had Mary, and Mary were there one day, and three Marys.
Not confusing at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. And
three Marys don't make a right.
Yeah, three Marys, and so we've been weeding and getting it ready, putting in some mulch. K&B delivered some mulch, and we threw it in there. So it looks fantastic. It looks completely, I think John Othoth and I worked on it when we first moved in, and it looked really good, and we didn't take care of it after that, and it kind of fell into disrepair. So they've chopped out all the bushes that are ugly. They put in hostas. It's great, but we've done that. So the volunteers are a fantastic part of this. If you haven't, come down to see how you can volunteer. We don't expect you to be a lifer like me, but you can come down and just stop in for a little bit, help, and then go on your way. And we have always have projects to do. In fact, I was talking to Chuck earlier by text, and we're going to try to change the toilet out before Saturday. So one of the toilets is starting to act up. They're the old 1974 ones that have like 4 gallons of flush or something like that. So it's like we need to get rid of those. So we were trying to see if we can get it done before Saturday. But anyway, and Mary, if Mary was here, she could have more details. I don't, because this is her thing. Last year we had a wonderful kids arts camp. The Wisconsin Arts Board gave us a grant for some money towards it. We used some money from the Radiothon to put on this beautiful thing. And Mary Lynn Katzma and her volunteers and some kids from the Parks and volunteers from the Parks and Rec, or the kids that they gave us some of their youth to come and help do the work and help us create all these wonderful things. And if you go back on our Facebook page, you can see all the great posts we have of all the art that all these kids made. Well, Marilyn can't commit to it, so Mary took the project on. So we got another grant from the Wisconsin Arts Board. We obviously have a little bit of money left over from the last year's Radiothon that we're going to use to pay for all of this, to give this kids a art camp. And it's Stephen Bennett.
Stephen,
I'm on the
power of radio.
Yeah,
you put the message out there, and they
Sorry.
and they'll call you.
I'll call you right after, Stephen.
Yeah.
So we have we have a beautiful. So Mary's really working on it. It starts her and Chuck Vogel, our handyman at large. They've been working on some projects that they've been doing, and I've been trying to stay out of her way, so because I don't, I know how that is when people look over your shoulder all the time. So let her do that. So if she was here, she'd talk more about it, and maybe we'll have another chance, because it's 3 months. It'll be the young people in June, and then the next older group in July, and then finally the oldest group in August. So, and each month it will be like 3 days, and it'll be different art. So last year was phenomenal. The kids loved it. I was down there quite a bit helping out, and the kids just loved every moment of it. So I can't imagine why this wouldn't be any different. So if you have kids that are still interested in this, we still have room. You can sign up at the Parks and Rec Department. They're doing all the work, doing all the registration work for us, so we don't have to do that.
All right, very good. Talking with Craig Casson, board president with the Dodge County Center for the Arts. Going to step out for one more break. When we come back, we'll talk about just a few other things going on at the Dodge County Center for the Arts. This is Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV and Daily Dodge TV.
hometown, it's Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. Also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Cale Zomer sitting in for Wally Lukashinsky here in the Daily Dodge TV studios. We've got Ninja, Justin the Ninja Wilski, up in the WBEV Slumberland studios helping us out today. And we are with Craig Caston, board president for the Dodge County Center for the Arts. And a couple more things. We got a few minutes left here to talk about a couple other things that go on. There's a few things that happen kind of on a regular basis that we should talk about.
Yep, we have quite a few things that we do. We're trying to keep a rhythm going, and one of them is we have our workshop Wednesdays, which was used to be called Watercolor Wednesdays, and it's free. You come on down and meet some artists, and I was telling Cale offline that when Mary first joined us as the gallery coordinator for the art center, she was amazed at how friendly everyone was, how they just invited her in and said, "Oh, you're one of us now." It's so much better. They're such a great group of people. All the artists are wonderful artists. There's not a single one that's you see like a New York artist. Well, I don't have time to talk to those people. Everyone is so friendly, so personable. They love it. So come on down. It's 1 to 4. On Wednesdays and every Wednesday, and come on down. We have yoga on Tuesdays. In fact, when I was leaving, I stopped this morning on my way here, and Audrey was sweeping the floors to get ready for yoga. So we have yoga where you can come in and do yoga right in the Art Center. A great place to be surrounded by art while you're doing the yoga. They have music. They have a little bit of smell. I forget what it's called. A little fragrance there to help you get in the mood. It's not hard. In fact, we were at Uga the other day, and she was doing a chair yoga thing, and it was pretty cool. And there were quite a few people there that were older, and they were having a blast. The people that do it just say they love it. So if you have, I had a flyer here, but I can't find it. But if you have it, if you're interested, look at our website, dodgecountyarts.org. We have there's a tab there that you can see about yoga, and you can sign up. And it's very inexpensive. It's very affirming. There's no expert yoga people that Audrey obviously is good at it, but that's her job. But the rest of the yoga people aren't specialized. They're just people that come in and want to stretch and have fun. So it's a great way to do it. Yeah, check it out. And I'm glad that Mary worked this out that we could have that. So it's every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays are morning and after and early evening, and then Tuesdays I think are just morning. Or Thursdays are just morning. Sorry.
Gotcha.
We have our coloring contest every month. We have a coloring contest, and this month is obviously peonies.
Peonies.
Exactly.
It's fitting.
We just got to keep peonies going. And then and we always have contests. We always give prizes to the winners, to the top three or four places, depending on how many entries there are, and we give prizes and ribbons and stuff like that. So you're more than welcome. It's free. Age is not a limit. When the judges decide, we get rid of all the ages and things like that. So it's just which one's better. Even if it's you can tell it's drawn by a 5-year-old. If it looks like it's really good art, we want to encourage that. So we'll have arts. We won't always give it to the top cream of the crop, because that it would always be the same 3 or 4 people. But we want to move it around a little bit. But these people we want to make sure these kids know that they're doing a great job. So if we get 10 entries, we might pick a couple that are younger people, even though we don't know the age, you can tell. And we want them to feel good. We want them to feel like they've accomplished something, and hopefully keep them on even if it's not in a career in art, it's keeping that art in their background, keep the art in their life. That's what we're really looking for. We're having a book club coming up with Mary worked this through with Rosalie Book Club, a bookstore. We have a book called What Art Does, and it's written by Brian Eno. If you know who Brian Eno is, he was one of the guys from the Talking Heads. And it's a very small book, but it's very interesting, and I read through it, and it's great. So I can't wait. It starts in July. Again, check out our website for all the details. We have, what else do we have? We have more groundskeeping we're doing, so if you're in there, come on down. You can always come on down. We just keep moving on. We always have regular things. We always try new things. And if you're an artist or that, and you want to like teach a workshop or teach a class, you can either do a workshop for free, or you can, if you want to charge for it. We have rules. You have to give us a percentage, but otherwise, you can do it and use our building to teach a class. So we have like Jenny Corbar taught a pour painting class the other day, and it was our workshop. It just the cost was just for the materials, and it was fantastic. I actually did it. I usually don't do art, but I was like, I have to try it because it looks so much fun, and it was fun. It was great, and she also taught a workshop on how to do glass, like molding with glass and stuff like that. She didn't let anybody do it because it's kind of dangerous, but but she showed how it works and how the philosophy and the technique, and she had quite a few people there watching it. It's always a good thing. We always have people that really are interested in sharing their talents. Lara Crutchen's done it a few times where she's taught some workshops on different techniques and things like that. So it's always fun, but we always invite artists, if you want to do it, come on down.
And we're up against the clock, but obviously always something going on at the Dodge County Center for the Arts. If you would, before we get out of here, remind folks where they can find you physically and online.
Sure. We're at 130 West Maple Avenue, which is the old Bank Mutual. We're trying to make it not look like a bank anymore. We're working hard. And you can find us online at DodgeCountyArts.org or on Facebook at Facebook.com/BeaverDamArts, or the rest of the social medias as well, Twitter, Instagram. We're all there. Or you can just stop down. That's the best way to find out what we do. Just pop in, say, hey, how you doing? What do you do here? And find out all the great things that the Arts Center does and the rest of the nonprofits in Beaver Dam do for this community, how we make it better.
And that, again, is Craig Caston, Board President of Dodge County Center for the Arts. This Saturday, great opportunity to stop in and check out the Dodge County Center for the Arts for the Arts and Peony Fest going on. Going to be a great weekend. And while you're down there at Arts and Peony Fest or over at Taste of Wisconsin this Saturday, make sure you're on the lookout and get in on our Chasing Chamber Cash contest that's going to be going on because at each event, we're going to have a sign out there. Look for our sign, and on the sign, you'll find a QR code. Scan the QR code with your phone and fill out the online form there, and 3 random winners will receive Beaver Dam Chamber checks for $50. So third prize is going to be $50. Another $50, and then one grand prize winner going to win a $150 chamber check. So be on the lookout for our QR codes at Arts and Peony Fest and at Taste of Wisconsin this Saturday. Craig, always great to catch up with you.
I'm glad to be back. I had fun.
That is going to wrap things up for Hometown Today here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.